Oh, good morning, you guys. It is Halloween, and somewhere in here is my witch's hat. Oh, wait, here it is. Got cat hair on it. You can't even see it, it's so dark. Anyway, it's Halloween, and I am at the clinic, if you hadn't noticed, for my lining check.
Hey everyone, think thick.
The thicker the better. I mean, last time I had my lining check that I remember, it was like 11. I believe they measure in millimeters, which is really good because they want somewhere like above, I don't know, I'll have to ask the person doing my ultrasound what the reference range should be. I am here. It is 7:15 in the morning. My appointment's not for half an hour. I mean, it's better to be early than 10 minutes late like my last appointment. So there's that. I mean, it gives me a chance to calm down because driving in Portland is so stressful for me. I don't know why. It is absolutely just the worst. Probably because I don't drive here very often, hardly ever, never. Almost never, let's put it that way. So driving down here is distressful. I mean, I was driving and it's like, stay in the middle lane, and there's only 2 lanes. Like, okay, which is the middle, right or left? And then I get up, further, and the right lane had been blocked off for construction, so there was no right lane. So good times. I also have my labs I have to have drawn, and I am hoping that they can get it on the first try this time. Hoping and praying, because digging around in my arm was no fun. I mean, you guys saw, I don't think you actually saw the bruises. I will put up a picture right here of how my arm looked probably like the next day or 2 days after. Like, it was insane how big the bruise was. And even now, when I look at it, it's not as good. I don't know if that's a thing, but when I look at my arm now, like, you can barely see it. And before, like, it was super obvious where it was. So I'm kind of mad about that. I mean, I can feel it. It's definitely there. So hopefully they won't have a problem sticking me today. I have not been drinking water like I should be. So I've probably had like 20 ounces no, not 20, this is 24. I've had like half of my thing of water today, so that's not great. So I emailed the clinic yesterday and I was like, hey, do I need to have a full bladder today? Because it doesn't say in the like appointment reminder, it doesn't say whether or not you need to have a full bladder, because I didn't know if they were using an internal ultrasound or an external one. The internal ones, you don't need to have a full bladder because it literally goes like up next to your cervix. So it's not trying to get through like the layers of fat and muscle and everything. She's like, come with a full bladder and ask them, and they'll let you know whether or not you need to use the restroom or not. I'm like, you have no idea. So anyway, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to report. I will try to record at least the audio when I go in there, and hopefully you can, hear some stuff. There's somebody coming. I'm still not used to vlogging, so when people like look at me when I'm doing it, I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Oh, so getting here this morning, I left my house at, I want to say 6:30, I think, 6:30ish. So I gave myself extra time because I'd be here at 7:45. So I gave myself an hour and 15 minutes, and I was half an hour early. So I forgot where I was going with that. Oh my word. Yep, I got nothing. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Alright. That's what we're looking at right here. It looks nice. Beautiful. So you can get dressed. And then you'll go down the way here to that little seating area to get blood work.
Okay. What was the lining?
Between 8 and 9.
Okay.
Okay.
What's what is it supposed to be?
There's no supposed to be.
Oh.
It's huge.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
She didn't say like anything. So weird.
Okay, it is 8 o'clock and I just finished, got back to my car, obviously. Was that not the most awkward ultrasound ever? It was so awkward, like she didn't talk the whole time. And then, did you notice I had to ask her what the lining was before she walked out the door? Like she was fully like opening the door and leaving without telling me. Who doesn't want to know what their lining is when they go in for a lining check? Who? Tell me. I have already texted my intended parents and told them what it is. I think they're probably still asleep because they haven't texted me back at all. But anyway, I gotta get to work. So I will see you guys later. Oh, by the way, she gets me back into the room and she goes, "The bathroom is right next door. Please empty your bladder." Okay. I mean, there really wasn't much in there because I hadn't drank a whole heck of a lot, but yeah, they need to inform their people. No, you do not need to have a full bladder. Thank you. Goodbye. So there's a little bit more to the story and I'm realizing it as I'm editing the video that I never recorded this stuff. So as I was driving to work, my coordinator from the agency texted me and she was like, "Good morning, Tasha. Happy Halloween. Wishing you all the best for today's lining check appointment." And when I got back to work, I texted her and I was like, "So, like, you texted me?" And like, it was already done. So I told her, you know, how thick the lining was. And she said, "Oh wow, hooray, looking forward to updates from ORM," which is the clinic. And I said, "Me too," obviously, because if the lining's no good or my labs are no good, then the transfer would get pushed like back and we wouldn't be doing it on that day, the scheduled day, not like the day I recorded. Anyway, so then she texted me asking if I have a preference on where I want to do my bed rest after the transfer. So the clinic that I'm working with has a 2-day bed rest protocol after an embryo transfer. So the day of and then the next day you have to be on bed rest. My kitten is chasing her tail. You are such a dork. What are you doing? Anyway, she asked me, you know, who's gonna drive me to the transfer because I'm not allowed to drive afterwards for 2 days. And then she wanted to know if I wanted to stay at a hotel near the clinic or if I wanted to go home. I live like 20 miles away, so there's no reason for me to not go home, I guess. I would rather be in my own bed, on bed rest, with my own TV and my own, you know, all the things. So I told her, you know, home would be better and that my mom was taking me, so like, got it all figured out. And, you know, that was the end of our conversation. And so about, I want to say about 3 o'clock, 3:30, I messaged my intended parent. Actually, it's 3 o'clock. I messaged my intended parents and I'm like, I still haven't heard from the clinic. Like, I don't know what's taking them so long, but
I need them to let me know the dosage for my shot tonight because I'm taking estradiol and the dosage started at 0.2, the next one was 0.25, and the one after that was 0.3. Well, the ones after that are blank and it says to be determined. So I was waiting for the clinic to tell me how much to take, and 3 o'clock rolls around and they close at 4, and I'm like, nobody's messaged me, like, what am I supposed to do? And so they're like, well, if they haven't messaged you by 3:30, call them. It's like, okay. So around probably 3:20, I decided, I'm like, I'm just gonna message them, be like, hey, how much am I supposed to take? Like, I can wait on the lab results, I can wait on the, you know, the results of the ultrasound, whatever. I don't need those, but I need the dosage for my estradiol that I'm supposed to take. Because I didn't want to just take the same amount if it was supposed to be more or if it was supposed to be less, or, you know, I didn't know. It's funny because when I sent the message to the clinic, after it got back into the inbox, there was already a message from my coordinator at the clinic. So if I had waited another like 5 minutes, I wouldn't have had to send that message. So anyway, she says, I hope you're well. Everything looks great from today's appointment. The lining measured at 8.61 millimeters and is trilaminar. Trilaminar. I don't know how to say this word. I really want to say it. Trilaminar. Trilaminar. It's an excellent blooper. Anyway, which is what we're looking for. The estradiol level today is 350, which is good as well. We can proceed with the embryo transfer plan. So 11/11 is the transfer plan. That is the date. That is next Friday. Not tomorrow, a week from tomorrow. She said to continue on the estradiol the same amount, and then she goes into, you know, the dosage and etc. for progesterone, which I'm not looking forward to because it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit. So there are going to be a few times when I have to do a shot of estradiol and progesterone in the same night, which sucks, to be honest, because I alternate like left and right, back and forth. But because the estradiol is only twice a week, there's a solid chance that as I alternate back and forth, there's going to be nights when I have 2 shots in the same butt cheek, which sucks. But the estradiol that I'm taking right now is 0.3 mils and the progesterone is 1 mil. So it's like more than 3 times the amount. And I've already gotten a knot from the estradiol. So that's not good. It's funny because the clinic messages me and my agency coordinator at the same time, and agency coordinator didn't even ask me. She just emailed the clinic and CC'd me on the emails like, hey, still waiting for an update. Like I hadn't even said anything. I hadn't told her I hadn't gotten an update. She just went and did it, and I appreciate her for that because she really stays on top of things, which I appreciate. That is all I have for now. Embryo transfer is in a week, and I gotta double check, but I'm going to ask my intended parents if they want to meet for lunch the day of the transfer, because our transfer is not till 3 p.m. It's so late. I don't like that. I would rather have it earlier in the day at 11 o'clock. Okay, how amazing would it be if the transfer was on 11/11 at 11? I wish. I so wish. But it's at 3 p.m. and I am thinking about asking if the intended parents want to meet for lunch before the transfer, just to, you know, meet in person, hang out. We've been texting like every single day since after the match meeting, and we both like agreed to match. It's been like a couple of months that we've been texting back and forth and still have not met in person. So like, I really think that we should do that, but it all depends on if they want to, but I thought it would be a fun idea. So I'll have to check and see if we can work something out, make an arrangement. That is what I have for now. I will update you. I might do a progesterone shot video, although, fun fact, my progesterone is not an oil. It is not a PIO shot. I mean, it's still progesterone and it's for IVF. It's just not an oil. It's in something else because I get hives with the progesterone and oil. So they switched me to progesterone in ethyl oleate, which I don't remember if I've showed you, probably have, but the ethyl oleate is so thin. It's amazing. It's so good. Like, the progesterone and oil is so thick. It is like olive oil thick. And when you inject that, like, it is hard. It does not come out easily. So the ethyl oleate is so much nicer and my butt appreciates it so much because I was literally getting hives from the progesterone and oil. It was not a fun time. Like, I was getting hives like this big. They were huge because it itched so bad. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying this. I am having fun, you know, like recording these videos and editing them. And I really hope that these videos can help someone understand, you know, what a surrogate is, what it's all about, the highs, the lows, everything. I mean, right now, there haven't been very many lows, which in my experience is typical. Like, usually it's all easy, good, positive things, you know? There's never really issues, I guess. But yeah, I really hope that somebody can learn something about this. There's a lot of people that have asked me and they always preface it by like, is it okay? Or can I ask a question? Or I hope you're not offended, stuff like that. Like, no, you're not gonna offend me if you ask me a question about surrogacy because you wanna learn more. I will tell you just about anything when it comes to this. So if you are honestly curious, there are no stupid questions. I am happy to answer any and all of your questions within reason. There might be some where I'm like, no. I mean, that's the reason that I'm recording these videos is, you know, to educate people. And of course, a digital diary for myself if I ever want to go back and remember, you know, all the good times, the booty shots. Let's be honest, it's like the worst part. Oh my goodness. So if you want to follow along with me on my journey, if you are on a surrogacy journey or you're doing IVF, I would love to hear about it. Leave me a comment, make sure you subscribe so you can follow along and don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I cannot wait to do like bump updates and like fun stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe. And oh, I need to start remembering to tell you guys this. I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, and there will be a Facebook page. There will be a Facebook page too that, you know, you can follow along on all the platforms. I don't do Twitter, not a fan. I hope you have an awesome day and I will see you in the next video. Bye.